So thank you all for joining this webinar. Now, I'm confident that this session will be valuable for each one of you. On that note, let me introduce myself and get things started. Now, I'm Ajay, responsible for client relationships and account management for pharma accounts at I2E. I come with over 15 years of experience all throughout into business development and account management. So here is a glimpse of what we will cover today. Here is what we will be covering today: overview of the agenda, a brief introduction to I2E Consulting, introduction of today's speakers, followed by the presentation and the demo. So yeah, the agenda for today's webinar is navigating the complexities of contract management in life sciences, overcoming challenges faced by BD and licensing teams in contract management, harnessing the power of Microsoft 365 in contract management, introduction to the custom software, custom SharePoint contract management solution, and to see the contract management solution in action. And then we would have a dedicated Q&A session. In the interest of time, we have dedicated the last 15 minutes to Q&A. But please feel free to drop your questions in the chat, and we'll try our best to address these questions during the call or during the Q&A. And if time doesn't permit, we shall get back to you over an email. So right, moving on, a brief about I2E Consulting. We are a pharma-focused IT services company. We started off in 2010 in the US, in Connecticut. We now have our presence in the US, UK, Canada, and India. Since our inception, we have been a pharma-focused company working with all the segments of pharma. Now, as you can see on the right are a few clients that we are currently working with. And since we are a consulting company, we have partnered with many players in the market. Now, we are a Microsoft certified gold partner. We also are partners with AWS and Automation Anywhere. We have experience in all the project portfolio management tools out there, be it Planisware, PlanView, or Microsoft Project Online. And we are premium partners with Dataiku, which is one of the leading data science platform, or an AI platform that specializes in the field of data science and machine learning. So what this translates into is we follow adaptive architecture, offering you the flexibility to bring in your AI tool of choice and your data source of choice and incorporate them within our solutions. So a brief about our recognitions. Now, in the 2024 Peak Metrics assessment, we were positioned as a major contender in the life science digital service specialist. We have earned a spot on the INC 5000 list thrice, and we have consistently received the Great Place of Work award for 4 consecutive years. So here is a brief of what we do, who we are, and yeah, moving on, I shall quickly introduce today's speakers. I'm pleased to introduce Pramod Kumar, who is a distinguished director and expert in BD and licensing. He brings over 20 years of experience in the life science sector with a background that includes a Bachelor of Pharmacy and an MBA. So Pramod has excelled in crafting strategies that propel business growth, this across the product life cycle. So his expertise encompasses life science strategy, consulting, business development, licensing. Others are a few, if I could touch upon. So making him a vital force in driving success and innovation in the industry. And we also have Joel D'Souza. He's the practice lead for Office 365 digital transformation. He comes with over 11 years of experience. Joel is passionate advocate for digital innovation, dedicated to enhancing user experience through the power of Microsoft 365 applications. So his expertise spans across SharePoint, Power Platform, Project Online, and various add-ins. So enabling organizations to harness technology for greater efficiency and collaboration. So yeah, moving on, I shall let the speakers take over and take it ahead from here. So Pramod, over to you.
Thank you, Ajay, for such a nice introduction. And hi, everyone. My name is Pramod. And today we are going to discuss what kind of contract management needs are in the pharma, what kind of challenges which pharma is facing across the life cycle of the pharma pipeline. And we will be also providing you an overview of our platform, which we have built leveraging the Office 365 to build and manage the contracts. Now, if you speak about the overall product life cycle of pharma, in that most of the contracts are built, formed, and monitored in the product discovery stage, which include BD and licensing, which we will be discussing in detail today. Apart from that, there are other areas like IP licensing, invention assignment agreements, and there are multiple agreements which are signed with between small biotech company and a large pharma, institutes and universities and pharma. On the product development side, there are lots of agreements which are signed between CROs, credit agreements, then clinical trial agreements. On product distribution side, there are contract manufacturing agreements, master service level agreements, material transfer agreements. On commercialization side, there are post-manufacturing surveillance contracts, sales and marketing contracts. So we have seen that there are lots of contracts signing, maintaining, and enhancing activities are engaged. Now, specifically, we would like to discuss more about in the clinical side of contract management. However, before going into that, we would like to, Ajay, how about if we ask our audience that how they are managing their contracts currently?
No, absolutely, Parma. So, firstly, thanks for highlighting the needs in the contract management. On that note, we would also try and get their flavor of the opinion as to how they feel. So, how are you currently tracking your contracts? Now, is it Excel, any Microsoft platform, Salesforce? There's something which we have received as options. You can also choose others if you have, and please let us know what it is in the comments. Poll is going to be active for a minute before we reveal the results.
And most of the time, organizations are do maintain their contract at multiple places, like document signing and management at separate place, timelines and maintaining other things into different departments. So it can be a combination of multiple tools also. Okay, so most of our respondent has responded that they are managing their contract into Excel, which is expected because with the customers with whom we are in discussion with, they are also managing their contracts into Excel. And the reason for behind using Excel is if they are using Salesforce, then they need to dependent on multiple things. If they any kind of amendment, no post amendment is there, they need to maintain that record into emails, and sometimes those data get lost also. Now, moving on to next slide, the most of the things which we have been seeing, the challenges which are managing the contracts through Excel or any other tool. Typically, the information is highly fragmented. Information is lying at multiple systems, causing insufficiencies, missed update, lack of integration, and visibility is not so much clear to the leadership team. Also, tracking complex long-term contracts, especially in case of pharma pipeline, where the contracts are 8 year, 10 years terms, and there are lots of amendments in between. The lack of track, it is very hard to track, causing missed deadlines and sometimes missed detail also. And communication is slightly difficult. It is very difficult to bring everyone on same page. Now, if people are managing it manually, this leads to lots of human errors in data entry. At the same time, the update which leadership has, the, they may not have updated information because sometimes some errors or some changes are communicated, but those are not captured properly. And communication is a big challenge. Now, since lack of centralization result into lack of visibility, also, it is difficult to give access to everyone for managing the contract, and the miscommunication between the departments leads to missed obligation and opportunity loss also. It is also reducing credibility among suppliers, among partners with whom we are partnering, and at the same time, it has some financial obligations also. Now, from our audience, Ajay, would you like to ask that what kind of challenges they are facing while they are managing these type of contracts?
Oh, absolutely. Now, firstly, Pramod, thanks for highlighting the current challenges in the CMS. So, if we were to understand the current challenges that the clients are facing, Now, these are the options which we have received from our clients in previous meetings. Yeah, please go ahead and choose the option that is relevant to you.
So most of the time when people are managing their contracts in Excel, they find it convenient, but at the same time, there are lots of challenges like communication is a bit difficult. At the same time, if you have to manage one or two contracts, it is manageable. But when a big pharma company who is managing 100 plus pipeline assets through licensing, it is very difficult. And how much payments they need to make in next 5 year, 10 year down the line, and uh, which are the payments which are upfront or pending, that kind of visibility is very difficult to get from Excel or even through any tools like Salesforce or any other tools.
Absolutely.
Okay, so most of the time, like I was expecting that reporting is something which team is looking forward that it could be a major area, and all of the above. Yes, automation, collaboration with other departments, and reporting, because collaboration is very critical. Multiple departments are engaged in it. People need to take a sign off from therapy area heads. They need to take approval from legal team. They need to take approval from finance also. And in between, there are lots of intervention from finance side, from departments, different department side. So that's great. Now, AJ, let's discuss about how we are solving these kind of challenges using the Office 365. And for that, I would like to invite our guest, Joel, who is leading the Office 365 practice. So, Joel, would you like to highlight the benefits or advantage of Microsoft 365?
Sure. Thanks, Pramod. So when it comes to M365, why M365 would probably be the right tool for you for your contract management? The first and foremost is that the organization you are part of would already have made an investment in M365. Since you have an M365 subscription, or in case of your onboarding, most of the colleagues or almost every colleague who are part of the organization would already have a license, so you don't need to purchase any additional licenses. In terms of the platform, it is on cloud. So your data storage is on cloud. It's already handled by Microsoft. It's regularly backed up so that in case there are any issues, which is rarely the case, Microsoft takes care of the backup so that you don't have to worry in terms of the data issues. The second one is security by Microsoft and compliance. It's all handled by Microsoft's ecosystem. So that's something that you don't need to worry about. That's something that your IT team doesn't need to worry about. In terms of the platform, since it's M365, it offers you various apps, Power Platform, Power BI, Project Online, and many more. So the ability to integrate multiple platforms, there's no limit. You can integrate not just within your current M365 apps, but you can integrate outside of your apps. If you want to integrate with SAP or Salesforce, you can do so. It has SharePoint, which gives you the ability for effective organization and access to contracts. And then through the Power Platform, you get an ability to create automated notifications. Along with this, it also offers you some customized reports. But if you want more in-depth business intelligence from the reports, since you're already on this platform, you have Power BI through which you can build those scalable reports.
Yeah, thank you, Joel, for highlighting the what kind of value we are getting while when we are managing the contracts using Office 365. However, we would like to ask from our audience that what features they would like to see in their existing or any new contract management software or platform.
So, in your experience, Pramod, working with different clients, what do you feel has been the feature that most of the clients have asked you for?
Most of the time when I discuss with different level of people, like the person who is managing the contract, he faced lots of difficulties because there is delay in timelines. The reason is he or she has to follow up with the leadership team for approvals. need to connect with the finance separately. Multiple reminders are required, and it is a big pain area for them. Whereas on the alternative side, when I speak with leadership team, they are saying that we don't know sometime that deadline is coming closer. We need to release payments or we need to do a follow-up. Those kind of challenges which people are most of the time telling.
You're on the dot,
Okay.
on the money, I would say. The audience have also selected the same options here.
Yes, the document management and yes, all of the things are also very important because integration with other tool, easy approval flow, document management, user experience, all things are critical while managing the document. So that's great. Now, if we speak about our contract management platform, I would like to highlight some of the key features. It is providing end-to-end solutions. Once the poll is over, we can see that what kind of features we are bringing on the table using the Microsoft Office 365 SharePoint application product which we brought on the table. It is not only managing the helping in managing the contract, but it is also helping in the negotiation between two parties, and the contracts can be uh, signed through DocuSign, which can be easily integrated with our platform. Also, reviews, approval process is seamless. Like typically the person who is actually working on the contract, his pain area is he's not getting response from the concerned parties. So this approval flow automatically raise flag on the person who need to respond or take action on it, whether it is leadership team, finance. If they don't respond, it will send reminders also. Then storage of those signed contracts and any kind of amendments are there. The most updated information can easily be seen into this product. Now, document record management, any kind of log of contract modification, maintaining audit trails, it is very and convenient. There are some updates which are no cost changes, and sometimes people are least bothered about it. But think from that point of view, if contract need to be, if there is a deadline extension and vendor has already taken approval on that and leadership is not aware about it or finance is not aware about it, think kind of miscommunication it can happen between two parties. Also, reporting and tracking of different multiple contracts is very easy. Leadership can easily see how much money they need to release in next 5 year, 10 year down the line, how many contracts which are going on. Also, finance will also have their visibility and they can plan accordingly. So with this contract management platform, people can manage their document, track milestone, improve efficiency because there is human intervention is minimal, and the contract execution is fast. Data security is extremely high because it is a Microsoft product. So these are the things which are making this product unique. Now, in the next slide, Joel, I would like to request you if you can give a quick overview how this product work, and after that, if you can give a quick demo also to our audience, that will be very helpful.
So when it comes to contract management lifecycle, what do we provide, right? So the first thing we provide is a digitized solution so that it's a one-stop shop. Nothing gets missed. You have standardized all the contracts into one single platform. Different types of contracts can be managed, be it your research, material transfer, or any other type of agreements. You have better visibility and control because you are aware the contract is at what stage, submitted by whom, what has happened when, and all the data that is captured from each stage to the other. You have a centralized access and storage with version history capability so that all your contracts are at one place. The ability to track milestones and reminders. So against your contract, you would be tracking certain milestones, and then against your milestones, you would have reminders sent out on a periodic basis or as per your need when you want to send out. The contract obligation tracking is also managed. Decrease contract lifecycle time because you have an end-to-end automated system from the time of submitting a contract all the way till tracking your project. And of course, not every project will go smooth and will be achieved within a certain date. You will have amendments. So the ability to track cost and no cost amendments. So from a technology stack point of view, what we have covered is a document management system to store your data and your contracts, a workflow management system to automate your business process automations and your notifications, reporting through analytics and reporting capabilities of the product, and then integration with enterprise systems. Now, what is the outcome with this whole thing, right? So the first thing is your better efficiency. Almost 80% of your manual efforts is gone. No need to reach out over Teams or Outlook to anybody. Everything is right here. You get notified on any update that takes place. Your risk is mitigated because you are receiving notifications. You can take actions at the earliest. You have good stakeholder relationships. Cost is saved, and then compliance and legal protection is taken care of, and then you're able to make better strategic decisions. Now, without further ado, I will share my screen. All right, so this is the contract management platform, wherein on your landing page, you get an idea about your project overview. These are your executed contracts, after which you can track whether the projects are active, completely terminated, or cancelled. You get your proposal or contract overview, which gives you an idea of on each department, your contracts are at which stage, high level information, whether it's pending review, approved or not approved. Timeline capability to track your stakeholder meetings in case you want to do any prioritization of your contracts. Any milestones or any review meetings that takes place, all of that can be tracked to your timeline out here. Some basic information to the audience, whoever comes to this particular platform, what the site is about, or what this department is about, and then what it takes for you to submit a particular contract. Not many may be aware of certain information that they would need to be ready with before they try to submit it. So high level information of what it actually takes, what happens, the whole life cycle in order for the submission of a contract. And then finally, you have a section for quick links to redirect to any important documents, any sites to give them more info about it, or contact us where you can reach out to an individual for getting more information about it. You have a lot of other options out here, which I will cover at the end. But before that, I will show you how you can submit a proposal. Now, when you submit a proposal, you will have certain information that you can capture. So the first screen that you have here is your high-level contract information, basically the title of your project, brief summary about your project, the rationale behind the project, what is the objective of this, whether it caters to any emerging science area, what is the outcome of this particular project in case you proceed with it, and high level project leadership related information like your project manager, CSO, CFO, and other details. I'll just provide a sample title to move forward. So you have the ability to save it as a draft. In order to save it as a draft, you have to have title as mandatory. And when I move to the next stage, it also indicates to you out of the 9 questions or out of the number of questions at each stage, how many you have covered. It will indicate in red that you have not covered every question. So it will help you to understand whether everything is covered in order to move to the next stage or to submit the contract. Here within the general info, you get an option to add organization details. Now you would be dealing with certain organizations depending upon the type of contract. Let's say in case of research contracts, you would be dealing with an institution, you would be dealing with an organization, or you would be dealing with a consultant. So in that case, you can provide details about it, how many organizations you're dealing with, what is the currency amount that you are dealing with them, which country do they belong to, the principal investigator or the point of contact that are being represented from their organization. As part of your tracking, you can track all of that information here. Once all of this amount is collected, you would have a total budget auto-calculated in USD or any other currency of your choice. And after that, depending upon who is going to be part of this project within your own organization, you can divide the amount in terms of a percent split. So here you can mention your departments, which department are contributing to this particular contract, any subgroup, if any, cost center for that particular department, and then a percent split. Based on the percent split, it will auto calculate the dollar amount from the total budget. And then you have an additional option of sponsorship. From organization to organization, you may have the need to have sponsorship for certain types of contract. Let's say emerging science areas or any research projects where you want to promote certain investments, but they may not have the budget. You may want to sponsor it in this case. So in that case, you have a sponsorship capability. In this case, for example, you have a 75% sponsorship. Here you then have a proposed duration of agreement. And on the next tab, you would have questions. So this is basically related to the members who are part of this contract, whether they have endorsed it, members within the project who have reviewed and agreed to it from the budget point of view. If you're dealing with a university for this particular agreement, have the members within that university considered this budget? Have they approved this particular proposal? We don't want any concerns. So all of that has to be captured here. Then you have some high level milestone details about your contract, by when certain things should get completed. You have deliverable milestones and then financial milestones, and any other additional information that you would like to capture. And finally, any documentation. So depending on contract to contract, you may have a presentation deck that you want to have, which you want to present to your leadership. Any research plan in case of research type of agreements, where you can upload your research plan for your demonstration. I've already submitted something in draft, so I'll go to the projects view. So when I go to the projects view, you will see some information as form of tabs. You will get an ability to have all the contracts as a single view. You can narrow it down to contracts which are already executed and converted to projects. So your project tracking can be captured here. You have proposal views. So any proposals that has been submitted so far will be visible out here. The draft would be present over here. So I've already created a draft. I will click on it out here. So here you have a read-only details of your proposal. And now when I try to edit it, because this is in draft mode, you will see that all the information that I've added are captured. Now, once I captured everything, I'll just go to the last tab and then I'll try to submit it. As a business development admin who is overseeing this particular application, you can oversee the contracts that has been submitted. You will get an option to move it to stakeholder prioritization, either as an in-person calendar invite, or you can send it as a review within an email. So if you don't want to have an meeting for it, you can just send it as an email and they can come onto the system and provide their ratings. Then you, in case you're not satisfied with the information provided, you can submit as need more info, so that it will go back to the submitter and they can provide the additional information and send it back. Now here I will send to move to review. I will just add some information and I'll click on submit. Now once it has been submitted, this is where your stakeholder prioritization comes in, wherein they would be given a certain survey. Out here, you will see that I am part of a committee member who would be providing my inputs to decide the prioritization of this contract. As part of the survey, I will get some strategic parameters, deliverable parameters. Based on that, let's say I choose the most favorable to least favorable. Here, in case 1 is most favorable, 5 is least, we can reverse it as per your needs. So I say that, let's say everything is great in terms of all strategic parameters as part of my prioritization. I click on submit. Once it has been submitted, you will capture the number of votes that has been captured. Since I'm the only committee member for now, it's showing as 1. And as an admin, there may be cases that not every member in the leadership may provide the prioritization review. So you have the ability to log the survey. Once the survey is logged, a score is calculated based on the number of submissions that has been done and the number of selections that they've done during the service. Now, once it has been done, you get the approved budget as in read only as well as editable, so that you can decide whether you want to add more based on the review that has happened. you can increase or decrease the approved duration and provide the comments against it. So once everything is great, you feel everything is good, you can provide an approval and proceed to the next stage. Now, one thing to note here is you have something called as a contract capability. So in the timeline, you have every tracking from each stage, from the time of submission to further stages that will be captured. Along with that, any other milestones that are part of this particular contract will also be captured. So you get a whole timeline of the entire life cycle. Now that I've submitted it, your next stage would be the contract details. So I will go to the projects view. In this particular projects view, you will see sample agreement 1. So here you have your contract information. Within your contract, you will provide all of the contract details. This is an interface where you can provide your details manually in case you do not want any form of integrations. In case you have an integration with your DocuSign or Salesforce or any other platform, or an entire contract management system will be available out here for signing off your contract. Once all of this is captured, you will then convert this particular proposal as a project, and then you can start tracking your milestone and invoices. Now, in the interest of time, I will not be able to demo you the whole life cycle. So I'm just giving you an example of what an active project looks like after it has been signed. So let's say I come to one of this active project. So out here, you will get your read-only proposal high-level information carried over, which you can update need by need basis. You can capture additional milestones. Whatever milestones you had captured in the past as part of your contract will be visible here. And then any additional milestones or any updates to the milestones can be done here. Any additional documents that you would like to add pertaining to this contract or project. Any form of invoices that you would track, either manually or through integrations with your SAP, that can be done. Based on the information that you would track, you will have an auto calculation from your total budget. It will calculate what is your utilized, and then it will minus from your remaining, as well as you have a budget summary and forecast summary. You can even tie your invoices to a milestone. So we have a time-based and a deliverable-based or financial-based. So in case of financial milestones, it will definitely be tied to an invoice. You can map your invoice against a milestone also. You have an optional survey mechanism wherein you can decide whether after the project or during a project, if you want to see what's going on, you can send a project annual survey or a completion survey. And finally, in case of the completion, you would provide a success story, which you may want to display to your larger audience and upload other information and mark it as complete. You also have a capability of amendments. So let's say within a contract or within your project lifecycle, there may be an extension to the end date, but there is no additional cost. Or if there is an extension to the end date as well as extension to the cost. So you have an ability to request for an amendment. Out here, you have an ability to choose whether there is a no cost or cost amendment. And then based on that, in case it is a no cost, all you have to do is provide your amended duration and the rationale behind this amendment. And then it will go through a simple approval, which will then update your end date on this particular project. In case it is an additional cost, you have to provide a rationale behind it. But then it will, in this case, go through an entire life cycle. Since it is a cost involved, you have to get your endorsement, you have to go through prioritization and all of it. So the whole life cycle will then trigger. All your amendments will get captured out here. You will also get an amendment tab dealing with all the information that you had submitted as part of your cost amendments. I will not be able to cover the reports, but one of the reports that I can show you is the forecasting report. So since I have not covered an entire life cycle, as I mentioned, that it is a very comprehensive system. If you would need an in-depth demo about this or more information about this, do not hesitate to reach out to us. We can give you an end-to-end demo of it. So out here within the project tracking reports, you've got different type of report sections like time to signing, project survey missing, PO report, total spend by year, and so on. One common report that everyone loved is your forecast summary report, wherein it gives you a high level information about against a contract, the number of organizations you're dealing with, the point of contact from that organization, the percentage split by departments, the contract sign date, project end date, some high level project member information, the currency that you're dealing with for that organization, whether it is in USD, INR, Euro, and whatever. And then finally, apart from this information, you would have financial related details, wherein quarter on quarter, it will display to you how much amount needs to be executed and what are the upcoming amounts that needs to be executed. And it is displayed quarter on quarter for up to 2 years or 3 years, depending upon your need. And then a final in form of the rest of the years as a final column to give the total remaining budget. So in this case, you will be able to clearly view how much has been executed, how much are pending execution, so that budgetary point of view, you can plan accordingly. So we have an end-to-end system from the time of submission all the way to your amendments. You have a lot of report as part of your capabilities. And lastly, as an admin, sometimes certain information may not be provided by the scientific officer or the colleague who's submitting this particular proposal. So you may want the ability to update certain details, but you don't want anything to trigger. You don't want any stages to move forward to. So as an admin, you have an admin interface, which will give you the ability to update any information at any stage without triggering any workflows. So this gives you a flexibility to update information without running to or sending information back to the user. Apart from that, you get an admin panel to have some admin control over the site in case you want to change certain text, you want to give some security, if you want to add more people to give access to them, if you want to add any additional values within certain forms, you can do so. So this is all in all from the demo. Over to you, Pramod.
Thank you, Joel, for such a wonderful walkthrough. And now our audience has been gain a significant overview that how this particular product can help them in their contract management. Over and above, there are some advantage, like there is no subscription fees or anything because people are already using Microsoft, and security is provided by Microsoft only. So minimal IT approval related things will be there. However, there are certain other things also which I would like to highlight. There are certain additional services. In case I know Joel covered it at very high level, this tool which we built for one of the leading pharmaceutical company is quite big. If you require a dedicated demo, do not hesitate to reach out to Ajay, me, or Joel. We will be happy to have a one-on-one meeting with you. Now, the not only in the area of contract management, but especially for BD and licensing folks, we have some additional services, which include services related to indication prioritization, asset prioritization, which is a frequent requirement from small biotech company as well as from large pharma size. We can help you to identify, prioritize your portfolio. We can also help you prioritizing the indication, assets, compare them in comparison to competitors. We have in-depth analysis or capability. We can also provide you a dedicated forecast for any particular pipeline compound or entire indication. Dashboard and reporting capabilities, we are well versed because almost 50% of our team is AI and data expert. So you can expect a wonderful, amazing, attractive KPI reportings, BI dashboards, and certain kind of analytics, whether it is related to pipeline compounds, social media analytics. So these are the things. So Ajay, over to you. I guess we covered from our side.
So let's see if we have any questions. And so can we integrate with other systems to pull invoices and milestones is the first question.
The answer is yes, you can integrate with other systems. If you want to integrate with Salesforce, SAP, you can do so, or any other project management tool for your milestones, as long as the other system provides the integration capability, we can integrate it.
The next question is, what customization options are available?
So it depends on your requirement, but this is highly scalable. Microsoft gives you the ability to build something on top of their system. The contract management platform that we have demoed to you is also customized, so we can further customize it as per your need.
So the next question is, what will be the infrastructure cost if we have SharePoint Premium for all organization, and still do we need to pay extra per user for contract management tool?
So in case you have SharePoint Premium, which is a higher licensing compared to the original licensing of your SharePoint Office 365, you don't have any other additional cost. Within that, not only will you be able to do your current contract management, but we can also offer you a lot of AI capabilities within contract management as well.
Next question is, what technology stack is required to implement this solution?
So the technology stack that would be required is your Office 365 subscription, which has SharePoint and Power Platform. From a notification point of view, you would need Outlook and Teams.
The next question is, in how much time can we have this product customized as per our requirement?
So it all depends on your requirement, how much customization you need. Usually, if you want the system as is, it's very quick if there are no changes. If there are minor changes like label changes or additional fields, that's also fine. It can be done in a very short duration. But if your requirement is entirely different, where you need to do an end-to-end life cycle compared to what we have done here, if it's totally different, then the duration will obviously be longer. So we would need to know the requirement accordingly.
Parmod, I think this question is for you. Can this contract management be used for medtech and chemical industry?
So for medtech, where pipeline trials are there, I don't think so much changes are required. With minor alteration, it can be used into medtech space as well as in biotech, hospital industries also. However, if it comes to petrochemical industry or be any other industry, even in automobile, we can build a custom solution which will be based on our current product only, so that we can build it quickly. But customization is possible, and with little bit of customization, definitely it can be used straight away into medtech. For other industry, slight upgradation is required.
The next question is there a notification system to flag overdue milestones and pending invoices?
Yes. So when you are providing the milestones, you would be providing a forecasted date or any other additional dates like revised forecasted date and so on. So based on that, we send out notifications. It can be 3 months before the end date, a month before the end date, 14 days before the end date. As per your need, the frequency can be adjusted. Same goes for the invoices.
So the next question is, what security measures are in place for contract data?
In case of your security, it is already handled by Microsoft. Within the contract management platform, you have the ability to give access to the larger audience as a read-only information, depending upon, let's say, for ones who are giving you the prioritization from your leadership, they will have a certain different security access. So it provides you the capability of read-only, ability to edit, ability to not delete, those type of capabilities already provided. Further security is implemented, let's say encryption of your contracts. If you're maintaining the contracts within the system, you don't want it to go out of the system. So through rights management, it is encrypted so that without credentials, you cannot open the document. And further, through sensitivity labels, which is already part of your organization, you cannot even send it outside of your organization. And even if you do, it cannot send it to your personal environment like Gmail or anything else.
So the next question is, can approvals be handled via email without logging into the platform?
The answer is yes. There may be certain stakeholders who may want to approve with an email rather than going into the system, considering the volume of approvals. So Microsoft provides the ability to submit an approval or approve or reject within your email itself. Based on that submission, it will automatically capture the data and update the system. So you don't need to go outside of your Outlook, or you don't need to go outside of your Teams. In both cases, that approval form can be sent out and you can respond within that email or Teams.
So the next question is, can vendors directly submit their requests through the solution?
Technically, the answer is yes. It depends from organization to organizations, whether organization allows to do so. But technically, yes, you can enable it for users outside, for them to come onto the system and submit it. The only requirement is that they need to have a Microsoft account. In case they do not have it, it's a one-time registration, and then they will have access to the system.
So, yeah, Joel, I understand we have another 5 minutes left. So for the rest of the questions, we'll ensure we'll write an email and answer those questions. So let me conclude the session for today. In conclusion, the I2E's contract management platform is expertly crafted, to automate and streamline every phase of contract management, starting from drafting and negotiation till the execution and ongoing maintenance. So by minimizing manual efforts and enhancing transparency, this innovative software empowers business to mitigate risk, foster collaboration, and boost operational efficiency. So ultimately, these improvements lead to stronger business relationships and more favorable outcomes, positioning organizations for sustained success. So, our team here would definitely send the recording as a URL in an email at the earliest. Please feel free to revisit the webinar or forward it to your team. It will also be available on our website. And before I conclude, we regularly host insightful sessions addressing industry's pressing concerns. Now, to stay updated on industry trends and upcoming events, we invite you to follow us on LinkedIn and subscribe to our newsletters. So, yeah, if you would like to discuss contract management solution further, please feel free to reach out to us and we can have a deep dive session. So I would say that concludes our webinar for today. I hope you found this information valuable. I would like to thank you for your participation. We truly appreciate it. Thank you.
To know more, please contact us at solutions@i2econsulting.com.